Yes, and we've got some friends with you tonight, and you know, we're going to be sharing the gospel, letting you know what's going on there at the drum.
Yes.
Most importantly, you have some international guests, and just tell us a little bit
about what's going
on this
yeah,
Saturday.
Man. I think that for those who don't know, do know, whichever one it is, it's the case of we're doing C.H.R.I.S this weekend, and it's really about a combination of having US acts, you know, and as we discussed the last time I was here, it's not just about US acts that everyone knows, it's US acts which are passionate about spreading the gospel and linking together with urban ministers over here and bringing across the gospel, which is, you know, you can invite anybody to see, you know what I'm saying, and they'll enjoy the night. It's about having a great night musically, but it's at the same time bringing over a positive, the true message of Jesus Christ over to people, but at the same time, the key thing is just making things professional, looking good, and that's why we added the drum, you know, bringing across, you know, this is going to be like, I checked out, you know, you check the times on the schedule,
yes,
yeah?
Sir.
So I was going through the schedule over there, I was putting the times and working out how long you've been on stage.
Yeah.
I'm going, oh my gosh, this is going to be 3 hours of music, bro.
Straight 3 hours.
Oh,
the G&I, straight music.
Straight music.
Hardcore.
Like, it's going to be like 3 hours of just things going on, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a powerful night, and we're over 10 hours.
Wow, 10 artists. People have just run through the whole thing.
Wait, he dropped down a bit.
Yeah, you know, Slavery's not here with us. He's gonna be flying in shortly.
Yeah.
Chris in the studio live. We've got Richard.
Yeah.
Dauphin's live in the studio as well. Leke, we can't read some of them.
Leke, you've got, you know, you got like Presha J, you got Entitled, you know, Entitled when the young people come in here.
Yes, he's been over
from Birmingham. You got Roper, you got Theon, you've got Possible Pete. Remember Possible Pete?
Possible Pete.
Yeah.
How's that you doing, man?
He's doing brilliant, and he's just getting back on it now, and he's got some new material coming out soon. So watch his space. And you've got David B as well from Manchester. He's like, you know what I mean, to be honest, one of the hottest singers coming out of Manchester right now.
Going on good.
Yeah, no, it's going on proper good, you know, and it's going to be there this Saturday, you know, 16th of April. We're going to be at the drum, you know, and that's another subject in itself. But you know, but we're going to
make the most of it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to definitely, you know, and
while it lasts, you know what I mean? But you know, we've got C.H.R.I.S as well hosting it.
Yeah, 100% MOBO Award winning.
Wow.
C.H.R.I.S.
Yeah, C.H.R.I.S.
Everyone thinks, oh, it's going to be the bill. Nah, man, he's hosting. He's glad to serve and to come along and help the project because he knew that, you know, the project was good for him as growing as a young artist as well.
Yes. And you know, you mentioned something important about serving. But that's what I know what you're like for. People who's talented behind the camera.
Yeah.
You know, reading out a wire. Fixing up a mic. Helping at the door.
Yeah.
It's not always about being on stage.
No.
You know, it's a collective thing. That's what I like about J. Like everybody mocks in people.
Yeah.
It's not a superstar thing. No. You know, somebody you go to the concert sometime, and if you're an artist, you have to be on the stage.
Yeah.
But you know, one thing I like about Roger's setup is that everybody has immense talent, but you're just willing to serve each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's a sign of, you know, what GL is about, really.
Yeah, it's a village mentality, and you know, the village mentality is success. You know, a loner thing doesn't work, man. Whichever part of you are, you know what I mean, the loner system don't work. You have to work together, you're going to work as a team. You have to appreciate what you're doing here as well. You're going to appreciate everybody's going to appreciate what everybody's got a part to play. We talk about the Bible, we talk about the body of Christ, you know, and every element of the body works for you. You take your little tour, you're not walking straight.
Yeah, you know, one body, many parts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The head can't move and an arm can't move without the head and vice versa. So it's all about that, people. So you know what, without further ado, you know, I just want to draw some of these artists in and just line it up to see them here.
Yeah, I'm going to set you up with this guy, Richard, man, and he's a guy, you know, we're just sitting down chilling with him and he's talking about his song Revolution Music, and you know, trust me, it's obvious which angle is coming from, music ministry, impacting the community, making sure that, especially as black people, that we step up for our rights, you know, at the same time, in the right manner, in Christ. But we'll let him chat more about this, but just have a taste of this song, and then obviously we're just going to give you more insight. So check this out, man.
Let's blaze the Revolution Music. People ain't too late to acquire your tickets. Get in touch with GL Live as well. It's going off down at the drum. It's coming Saturday the 16th of April. So you know what, without further ado, we have to start talking to the man himself. Just give us a 1-2 mic check there, Mr. Richard.
Check 1 2 1 2. What's going on? How you feeling?
It's so nice and clear. Bro, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to the Shekinah Gospel Show.
Much love, man. It's a blessing to be out here.
The first city of gospel in the UK. Nah, take it back.
Alright.
So, I heard that you do a lot of things in your immediate community.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not just about rapping, and we know by these serious lyrics as well that, boy, you're a serious man of God. God's anointed you to get out in your community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Amen. Yeah, I work for, I'm the assistant director at this community center that also has a charter school. So we just go out there and then we provide services for the kids as far as like after school, education, dance, arts. We have a studio there, so we got the kids actually teaching them how to actually record it in the studios and stuff like that. This stuff, we got the kids are actually learning, the audio engineering, producing records, and we have certain artists. I have them come in, to share. Some of the kids that we're actually plugging tracks with other artists, so we're actually giving them real life experiences, but also we're also gearing them and showing them, not just giving them an opportunity to understand how you can use your craft into your own business, and then me being there as a man in the faith, I'm always, trying to drop some knowledge on them, and let them understand. Some of them I had them come to my church, They're interested in church. Every time they see me, what's going on, Rich, what up, Rev, and the whole 9 yards, man. So it's just about, letting your light shine before men. So when they see us, they see Jesus, man.
So these are kids that don't normally, we call them unchurched.
Yeah, these are unchurched, never been to church, but through the opportunities that I've been blessed with, being and working at the community center and God having me there, we're not just in our communities just for the sake of being in our communities, but we're there to be a light, so we're gonna use kind of like the music, the arts as bait, to actually connect with them. Real, give them the gospel, also make sure that they prepare for life,
That is powerful, because there's so many times where we talk about bringing in these people that out there in crime and drugs and whatever. Right. But we know it's a practical thing.
Absolutely.
We know that, we can pray till we change colour, but at the same time it has to be the manifestation of going out there. Because we know that the commission is to go.
Right, absolutely.
And the amount of fruits that you're seeing now, what impact has it had on your immediate church?
I mean, in my church, everybody that the kids that they already know my church, Like I've been invited them to come out.
I'm just gonna play this track again, Revolution music.
You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, but I'm alike, because even with people that are actually at my job, I'm talking about like my coworkers that I supervise. When I'm getting ready to go out to preach, they come out. Wow. And they come back and they tell everybody that's in the office, like, yo, you need to go to Richard Church. Yo, I like Richard Church. My boss has been to my church on two occasions. He said, like, I don't go to church, but you know what? I'm coming to your church, to hear you. Y'all guys have to go ahead and hear Rich preach. Shout out to my church, Life Changes Church in Harlem. You know what I mean? Shout out to my bishop.
In Harlem,
we out there in Harlem.
People, this is the real New York.
This is what it is. This is the Mecca.
I hear about them things on telly, bro.
We here.
Yo, Harlem's in the house, bro! Man!
Yeah, man.
People, this is what we're talking about, man from Harlem here. We got a lot of people over here that came from the streets, and but this is streets. This is Harlem, So this is real people. This is not somebody pulled from the back end that said, yo, no disrespect, people that come and say that. But this man's coming from Harlem, and he's in the real thing, goes out there with his, with what God has blessed him with. He's pulling in kids that want to do production, play instruments. And these are the fruits of what you're doing. And it's impacted your church from Harlem. So how long have you been doing this kind of work with church?
Me, I've been doing this kind of work for 7 years now. Wow. I've been doing this for 7 years, and it was completely God by accident. I just went there to do a hip hop workshop with video, got offered a job, and I wanted to volunteer.
Wow.
And then I got I started
to get paid.
I got a part-time position, and a part-time position eventually led to me being now an assistant director of that program. Wow. Being able to provide gospel shows and community service projects, involving the community, the church, and as well as the kids in the program, which is awesome, and which is why if you guys check out the music video for Revolution Music, you know what I mean? Y'all can also check that out.
Music videos?
Yeah, there's a music video. Y'all gotta check that out, because it's right in the community. Some of the kids that are in my program, that were kind of like knuckleheads, they're in the video. Wow. They said, you shooting the video, Rich? I gotta be there. What time I'm gonna go ahead and be there and represent? You know what I mean?
This is real Harlem. This is Harlem.
In the school on the block, on the basketball court. So it was definitely an honor and a blessing to be about that, man.
So in terms of where you see your project going, and what is your long-term vision for the things that you're doing in the community right now? Because you're making good headway.
Right.
So obviously you must have further dreams to extend that vision.
Really just to branch off and network with other organizations, and to eventually really gear on, I'm big on community service now. Yeah. Even though what I do at in Harlem, which is great, but I really want to be able to really grab a hold and learn from other communities, you know, really be mission minded, and those people that are part of my program, that are part of my job. I'm really trying to unite all my resources and outlets to actually go and provide and do different service projects so that we can get churches more involved in community services, you know, because a lot of times I'm found from doing different outreaches, people want to do stuff. You know, but they just don't have nowhere to do it, you know, and you know, and unfortunately, you know, some churches aren't as active in the community as they should. But if I'm doing, let's say, a clothing drive, that's going to be a concert where we're going to give our clothes and food, I can say, hey, St. Baptist Church up the block, do you have youth? Do you have men? Do you have women? Come and join this outreach. Hey, go up to church up the block. Everybody can come and be a part of actually making their mark and impacting our community as a whole.
And I think what you're saying there is church movement, because I mean, like I said before, many people say outreach, but the reality is the church is just feeling like grandkids and grandparents. So there's a massive gap in between. But what you're doing there is dealing with all youth, and then by seeing Jesus in you, they want to know more about this Jesus, because maybe sometimes you're going to be the only Jesus that they're seeing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, Richard, so let's fast forward to the 16th. You know, God's Spirit Life.
Going down. It's going down to the drum.
I mean, listen to some of your music, man. And, you know, it's some hardcore business going on, and we're really privileged to have real New Yorkers in the house.
It's a blessing.
Because I've been seeing people from a long time with New York on the hat, New York on the chest, New York on the jeans.
Brooklyn's definitely
from Harlem.
Yeah, listen, man.
Harlem's in the house, people. No,
I'm straight. Yeah, man, I tell everybody, man, born and raised in Brooklyn, but I live in Harlem, you know what I mean, on a regular basis, man, so to come all the way from Brooklyn to the UK is awesome.
And also those communities as well, you know, some of them would describe them as, some parts as real ghetto. Because some people over here, we say that Handsworth is ghetto or Aston or some of the parts in Birmingham. But you're coming from real ghetto, so you must have been seeing things on the street that people talk about, but it's reality to you, everyday thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, and not to sound cryptic, I mean, I remember one time going to work, I walked right in the middle of a shootout.
Wow.
You know what I mean? By the grace of God, I made it, but that's the reality and the context in which I work in on a regular basis. And after I made it there, I went right there to a board meeting with everybody. I'm sitting there like, was I just in a shootout? You know, but and to the community, it's regular.
Wow.
This is a regular deal, and even as I was coming down here, I was just like, "Where's the hood?" Yeah. And then because where's the hood? Where I said, like, this is where it's at compared to what we see on a regular basis, and this is not to downplay, not to say that things don't go on here, you know, but to come from where I'm at and to see things that I realize that I see on a regular basis is something.
It's a real thing, because, you know, like what you're saying, to put it into context, Birmingham now is more or less the gun capital of the UK.
Wow.
The ratio of shootings even this year is higher than anywhere else in the UK.
Wow.
So really, we know it's nowhere near Harlem or places like New York, but it's still somewhere that, you know, if you could keep in your prayers, even going back over to New York, it's a real thing. So like, we're working in like a baby ghetto to where you're coming from, but it's still a real thing that we need to be Jesus.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, you know, I know people's dying for you to bust some bars. Because nobody gets away when they come to the big blessing. But, you know, I just wanted to, you know, talk to you about community, because I know you're big on community, and believe that sometimes we don't just see the artists, and people have to know what's behind the artist, so to speak. So you've given us a real good insight. People, I have to, you know, implore you to come out and listen to these guys. They come all the way from the US. You know, no airs and graces. These are real guys from Harlem, New York. Boy, it's real thing, people. They're in the community. And maybe we can catch a bit of vibes of what it's like to work in the community and really let Jesus shine through you, because these are the days where, we know it's the last days, we've been here from a long time. Jesus is coming back, Jesus is coming back. But what was happening in those days, you know, it's not what's happening now. It's serious now. So we know that the coming is nigh.
Yeah.
So in terms of Saturday, what can we expect from Richard?
You're going to expect definitely raw energy, passion, you know, raw energy, passion, my heart, you know what I mean? I really want to, like, I really captivate, you know, who I am and the essence of what God has given me through the music, you know. I'm definitely aiming, not even just with music, but I definitely am aiming to, like, really speak a word into the life of the people. You know, I'm definitely been praying, like, God, you know, even outside the music, you know, just give me something that can actually, you know, speak life and speak hope, you know, and a relevant word for somebody that's actually there. Because I'm also, you know, reverend in my church, so I'm always, you know, trying to be able to actually speak life, you know what I mean? And I wasn't always born and raised in church, you know what I mean? But I thought my life was going one way, but God had other plans. So I just want to encourage somebody that's probably listening right now.
Serious.
They call it, man. Like, answer that call, man. Stop playing the Jonah, man.
Richard, just give us a snippet of what people is gonna get down there. While Miller come and lines up some more albums. And he's ready for me, you know, he's working with tonight.
Let's get it, man.
You know what I mean? While they come and line up some more tunes out of these, what's it called? So just give people a snippet of what they can be expecting on Saturday night.
Listen, as far as the bars goes like this, man, there's a need to raise the bar, revisit the standard. When the Lord walked the earth, did we understand that his plan was not to start religion, not to create all these vain traditions that wasn't the call, that's far from the mission. I wonder if Jesus walked in this day and age. I wonder if he'd be proud or ashamed of our ways to see our youth. They straight up dying in our pews while we're busy shucking and jiving like we ain't got a clue. If they only knew, the scale from their eyes would fully be removed and they'd be compelled to walk up in his truth. Cause Jesus ain't died for church membership, but relationship, and relationship is the main basis to what salvation is. And I'm just a servant doing the will of the Father, cause many know the book, but they don't know the author. That's how the enemy mislead us. Too many people know church, but they don't know Jesus. Yeah, live, Acts, April 16th is going down Saturday at the Drum. Let's get it, man.
Hey, people, you've heard it live there. Yeah. We should go put in the house live, people. Revolution Music Live. You got to get down there. Richard, it's been nice speaking to you, bro. We're going to play some more music and then calling the man Chris. But hey, people, I'm telling you, there's some serious thing going on around here. Something that you can learn from. Something that can drop in your spirit to let you get closer to Jesus. So get down there, 16th of April. We're going to play some more music now, and then we're going to hear from the man Chris. Okay, place the track. Big up yourself, Richard. Okay, Mr. Chris, step up to the mic, bro. The boys are tall, man, you know. Well, people, it's not very often people taller than me come in the studio.
For real, I feel like I need to sit down.
Keep on my hat, you know. Yeah. So, Chris, what, Harlem in the house again? New York?
Nah, I ain't from Harlem, man. I'm from Queens, man.
Queens?
Queens in the building, man, for real.
Oh my gosh. And you do similar work out in the community in Queens, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So how has that impacted your life in terms of working with people out in Queens on the street, representing Christ?
I mean, for me, it's second nature. I'm from a hood where, you know, not a lot of people make it out, and not a lot of people, when they do make it out, come back to be effective. So that's really what I want to do, man. I just want to be effective in my community, and I want to make sure that people know, yo, Chris is out here. You know, Chris is somebody that can be talked to, somebody that, you know, that's available. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And that's what we're talking about, really. Somebody, you know, similar to what Richard is saying, just being Christ out there in your community, because so many times we forget that the commission is to go into the world. And sometimes we expect people to come and be knocking on the church door, flooding the church.
Right.
But it isn't so. They have to see Jesus through you, yeah?
Absolutely.
How have you found that you've been able to impact your community in terms of what you're doing? What's some of the success stories that you've come with?
Man, listen, like, for me, it's just about being relevant and being someone that people can identify with. So Jesus was a person that people identified with. He was a human being first.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And people identify with struggle. So if you've been through something in your life and you're able to communicate that to someone and say, listen, this is what God has done for me and He brought me out, people feel hope from that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's really what it is, man. Like, so it's about really being effective within your community, and that effectiveness translates to people saying, well, you know, you were so good in helping me find a job, or you were so good at, you know, helping my son. Like, it's something about you, and that's when you can say, well, you know, it's about Jesus.
That's when you can say, sneak it in,
exactly.
sneak it in.
You gotta be wise, man. You can't just go and just be like, Jesus, you're going to hell. Like, people, they don't want to hear it.
We see it here in the bullring, you know, I don't know if you've been to the bullring yet. You probably reach down there before you go home, but some people do preach it raw. I'm not saying it's wrong, like you say, but I think sometimes we have to use a different bait.
Absolutely.
And I think we forget that the Bible says Jesus went around doing good.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes that's forgotten, that sometimes if we just, you know, we have to look at what are we going around doing.
Right.
And how are we projecting Christ.
That's a fact.
So in terms of, you know, working out in your community and doing good, what can people expect from you stage-wise on a Saturday?
Just energy, man, and just really
Energy. Queen's energy.
Yeah, man. I rap, so like that's what I do, and that's what I'm trying to do.
We turn the Yankee tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so some raw energy.
Yeah, man, for real.
Yeah, because I mean,
performance, man, that's what it is.
Especially here in the UK, we've been waiting for a GL Live for what, 5 years, Raj?
Man, you just keep saying that. He just hurting Roger's feelings. Like, yo,
yeah.
What's it been, 25 years, Roger?
There's been other things going on. There's been affinity and all the rest of it. There's been some nice, crisp stuff going on. But you see, GL Live is unique in the UK in terms of, Roger, as we say in Jamaica, boss a lot of artists, which means introduced a lot of artists into the UK, especially from abroad as well, where there wasn't really that platform in the UK to do that. And I think that takes a lot of going because, I mean, even probably the same in the US, you need support even from the church really to even reach the lost.
Yes.
I think similar to what Richard was saying, you have to have that end product where they come into the church.
Right.
Because we found even as a sound system, when we was going out into the community, we was going that far when people got into church just thinking, wow, this is raw. What those guys are talking about, what these guys are talking about is something completely different. So we're like the bridge builders.
Right.
We're kind of like introducing them and saying, just take your time, take your time.
Right.
Don't want to clean up yourself before you get saved, just come as you are.
Right.
And I think the role that you guys are doing in New York is very important because we can learn of what it's like to be in a real ghetto in terms of the lifestyle, the social problems,
right,
and still project Christ.
Absolutely.
Because we need some help over here.
Listen, man, you said something that was real key, man, and really projecting Christ. That's what we have to do. So in projecting Christ, it's an image thing. It's not me forcing it down your throat or saying you're gonna go to hell. Because most people are gonna tell you, well, if I'm going to hell, I'm living in hell already.
Exactly. How it's going to be.
How much worse can it be? You're not winning any souls like that. So.
No. And the good thing about you guys coming over here as well and being in GL Live is that we get to see that the gospel is alive. Because some people, they go through life and even their Christianity, they go through big dry patches. And some people, it's not their thing to go to a concert, but some people have never ventured to like a hip-hop concert with a load of young artists.
Right.
Who probably, I've been to GL Live before, it's just a different atmosphere. It's like, people can come there and just feel relaxed. Nobody's going to be on your back the gospel because the gospel's been preached. And when you deliver it like that, I think, and leave people alone, I think a seed is being sown anyway.
I'm going to be real with you, man. Like what you're saying is so true, man. You have to allow. The Bible says one plants, one waters.
The increase,
You know what I'm saying? Just do your job to plant or water, and you don't even know which one that is.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Just do what God has called you to do, and let God get the increase.
And sometimes it's not even for our eyes. Sometimes it's an inward work of grace.
Absolutely.
You may pray all you want, and then it's only when somebody gets to their house to drop down and just repent. So sometimes it's not for us because sometimes the flesh man can get a bit of glory out of that. But sometimes God is saying, something. It's not even for your eyes. So is this your first time in the UK?
Absolutely. Everything is weird. You're driving on the wrong side of the road. The wheel in the car, I'm still blown away that I'm getting in on the driver's side of the car and there's no wheel there. But I love it. It's beautiful, man.
Amen. And it's good. It's really good to have you guys. Just like Richard, I want you to be in some bars as well.
Oh, of course.
Because the listeners are, people that are saying,
let me know when you're ready. I'm
all right then. Well, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Let's turn down this track here because right now we want to hear some bars from the man Chris himself.
Yo, I said, look. Queens veteran, we better than speed heroin. These heaven sent lines coming from degenerates, ex-hustlers, ex-cons, weed peddlers. We reverence Elohim for a sweet exodus. The evidence mounting up, but he's Everest. Preach reckless, the same places they sneak weapons in. We ain't there yet, but my feet are on the precipice. And the fact that my heart beats is the evidence. No notice, no bogus in my vocals. I was so broken, like Joseph, I felt hopeless. So I played the strip with the vultures and got focus. Fofo tear a shirt open like Hulk Hogan. It sounds good till you got beef and your heat's frozen. My homie got clapped and he died with the heat on him. They'll run down on you and clap you and keep going. I keep flowing, no emotion, my devotion. Chapter 12, 1 through 5, go read Romans. And then you better come to GL Live on Saturday.
Yo, people, yo, man.
Pleasure to be here, though, man.
Definitely, boy, people, you really gotta get out there. This is some serious things. People from New York in the house.
Yeah.
G.L.I is back after 5 years. We're loving it, we're loving it, we're loving it. Big up the whole massive. All I want to say to you is traveling mercies. We're going to see you down there.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully we're going to get as much people as we can out to that venue to hear what you got to say. God bless you.
Yo, same to you, man.
People, we got New York in the house. Roger, coming to round off this thing, bro, because I'm telling you right now, so let me just play some music before we talk to you, Roger. People, you're hearing the guys live in the studio. You know, back in the days when these people used to mention artists and then one of them never turned up. The man that here live, being videoed in the studio. Rah. What you saying, Raj?
I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. I'm ready for this, man.
Boy, as we were saying, you know, it's been a long time coming, but like we always say, that the old cliche say, nothing before the time.
Yeah, man.
How are you feeling that the guys are on the UK soil and you know that they're raring to go straight from New York?
Well, it's kind of weird because you get into this zone where you're thinking to yourself, okay, like, how many, you know what I mean? You got these guys over in America, you're talking to them, teasing them, but when they land on the ground, it's like, this becomes official, like, you know what I mean? The next few, and you know what's kind of cool? Is when you actually see their character. You know,
yeah, that's what struck me.
And it's like the character which is calm. You know, there's something let's get on.
No, humble.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's straight to proper things. And I think that for me as a person, not only just say a guy who wants to do promotion, a great event, but having artists that are called off stage is great.
Yeah.
Because in like we got children growing up and we're watching these guys. You know what I mean? From a level of character, it's great to see decent character, great. Just normal people.
And I think we've been on shows with artists from the US and different places where we've gone in there and their change rooms a lot.
Yeah.
And people think, oh, he's on the bill with so and so and so. You never even see them.
Yeah, no, but this
Never even see them.
This is it.
And you knock on the door and you got some security out there. Yeah, man. What you want, man? You know what I mean? It's because what they're saying is like them and us.
Yeah.
You can just see the character of these guys.
Yeah.
Humble. You know, the Bible says that if we humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God, then He will exalt us in due time. You know, you can see that these guys are servers.
Yeah.
You know, Richard spoke about wanting to be a volunteer. And just end up getting a job.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe it's when you show that servant spirit,
when you sow,
God exalts you like that.
When you sow, you know,
no hanging about. Man wants to volunteer job. Out to the community. Reverend. Similar story like with Christians. The work that they do, people, we can learn a lot from them. Because we have good ground in the UK, but sometimes we don't seem to utilize it the best we do. That's why we always pray for G.L.I. Simply because we have to pray for ministries that are going out there. And also ministries that are prepared to put the money where the mouth is. You know what I mean? Because so many people have got great ideas, and so many people are working on big funding. But we know the restrictions with that. But I'm just excited to know that these guys are here. You know, me and Miller's gonna draw our old self down there and sat there.
Yeah, man. Of course, man.
The guy goes, isn't it? And one young, you know what I mean? He's gonna be Peter Edmonds, you get me? And ministry.
Listen, I would say even being his children if possible. The old one, you know what I'm saying?
It's a family thing.
Family thing, man. So I'm encouraging people, like, say, because at the end of the day, so as much as we're big man now, we like hip hop anyway. So we listen to hip hop. So it's like, us big man there, so we can still bring children to the show. Because my sons, I'm making sure they reach.
Oh, your son's a big man.
Yeah.
Both of them big men. When I seen them the other day, I was like, no, that's not Roger's son. Big man.
He's in the stretch, man. The stretch.
So that means even more now we got to be an example in terms of these. We got to leave a legacy.
Oh, 100%, bro.
And I think what we're doing now is leaving that legacy. And ministry is nothing unless it's leaving a legacy.
No,
you know, we're always looking for youngsters to come on and say, you know something. Are you ready for that battle?
Yeah.
Because we want to give it to you. But are you ready? Because it's not just about being on stage. It's not just about having a CD out there.
This is it.
You know, we were mentioning people up to last night who came with that enthusiasm and that energy. And then because they live a boss at the same time,
This is what I'm saying. They're kind of drop off.
They drop off.
They go one with the quick fix. You know what I'm saying? And what's this about, bro? It's about
not
ego.
quick fix.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, what it is, is like every man sometimes, and this is where we need to be challenged in terms of our personal development. It's like, for me, it's a case of everyone's trying to fulfill their ego. Everything's about them. And what they have to realize, Christ was about leadership, was servitude. Being prepared to wash somebody's feet, you know. And you can go into any details about what hairstyle he had, what he looked like, Jesus. But bottom right hand corner, the full stop of how he led is into this new age is through servitude. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But yet we want to be served, yet we want to go on the stage and feel sweet because everybody comes forward. And one of the key things, bro, that I'm a stickler for when it comes to events, especially at the drum and stuff and secular venues, and people like to bring in and have massive altar calls. I'm like this. What are altar calls about? Is it about you feeling sweet because there's 50 people at the front? Or is it about God? Most of the time it's about you telling people how many people got saved because of your ministry. It's not about what God's doing in people's lives. And I think a lot of it's about ego, and it's about serving their own ego. And for me, bro, it's about, forget all that. Let God do what God does. You know what I'm saying? We lay seeds, you know, bro. Because I know you got your testimony, and your testimony is not about the best message. Your testimony is about your mother's prayer for your life. You know what I'm saying? And catch it and keeping you safe in awkward situations. It wasn't about so and so on the street telling you know. Simple
that, and it's something to what Chris was saying as well. Let God be God. Just do what you come to do. They're coming with a raw energy, and whatever happens after that, it's God. And you always seem to find them, Roger, but you know, the humility of the artists that come from abroad. You know what I mean? And maybe it's the way God's raised you. Because you know, a lot of the time, like we said before, we have to work with people who has that humility. You know, the Bible also talks about sitting in the seats at the back, the low seats, and waiting for somebody to call you up front. Because when you step up front to the big seats, somebody might say, "Yo, my seat." You know what I mean? And so it's spiritual. You know, these guys have come over the first time in the UK. Chris was saying about going alongside the car and all that. Alongside the road. Those things are refreshing to hear. So Raj, I just want you to kind of tell people why they should come out. We already know because we've heard one. But we want them to give your last thoughts on why they should come out.
Why should come out? Okay, for me, why you should come to GR Live is ultimately it's done by people from Birmingham. First and foremost, from Birmingham. This is not about just the artists on stage. This is about the whole team. So this is not about making Chris feel sweet, Richard feel sweet. This is about young teenagers helping putting on this event, you know. And it's like, you know, so from that level, talking to my Birmingham people, this is not just about Americans coming to town. This show has been put on by teenagers in your area. You know what I'm saying? So support us, support your people out there, and support them on it. On top of that, this event with 3 hours of pure ministry. You could see great performances, value for money. You know what I'm saying? And for 10 quid. You know what I'm saying?
People are going towards Riley for what? How much? 34 million? I mean, come on, people. You know, if we do not support our own, how do we expect the world to come in and support us? You see, they say charity begins at home, but I always say, dance a yard before you dance abroad.
Amen.
We've got to show people these are our youngsters.
Yeah, man.
You know, these are our youngsters from Birmingham, where we are saying to them, you take up the mantle. You get out there and let people see your talent for God. So you're going to be drawing your peers. So your uni friends are going to be saying, wow, he's working behind the scenes, he's on the stage, he's doing all these things. What's that? That's a gospel concept. I think we have to start portraying Christ even more so in the end days. It's not even enough to just preach it now. It's because we know that people out there, they don't even listen, they watch. They just watch it. And they always watch the Christians, and the minute you mess up, see there. So I mean, now I'm at church, you know. And I was just praying into a dream just the other day who have just moved in a new house around the corner. I was saying to him, look, you have to give an account for your deeds.
That's it.
So if you're in the line now, you say, well, that pastor did this and that brother did this and Spanner did this. God is going to say, okay, then, so when Spanner gave you the word, what did you do with it?
Exactly.
Bye, you get beaten. Because what he's going to say is at the end of the day, you had the opportunity to change your life. So, as me and Miller always do, we put people at the top of the prior list. That's what we're going to do with GR Live. So Raj, once again, thank you for coming in.
No,
Mr. Hardy on the camera, award-winning cameraman there.
Yeah, man.
Can't let them go. Original.
Yeah, man.
You know, we've got to pray for the whole of the GL team simply because you're doing the work that we are proud of.
Yeah.
And if there's any way that we can serve you, you know you can jump in. You always come and rush that show.
I know.
You know it goes already.
The text man, yo, you ready?
You know what I mean? And then what happens is that even before the week's out, it goes around to how many stations around the world.
Yeah, man.
So everybody knows that Queens and Brooklyn was in the house, and Harlem was in the house, simply because we need to let people know that we are actively putting our money where our mouth is, promoting the gospel in our own city.
Yeah.
So Raj, big respect again.
Respect, man.
Nice one to see you again, as usual. Always good to see the GL Live crew. People.